The anchor of ABC World News Tonight, David Muir, has been on the scene in Paris, and we're getting the latest from him live right now. David, hello. Tell us, last night there were overnight raids from the police in France, and this...
Joy, great to be with you on The View. Always is. Always tough, though, when it's a story like this. But you're absolutely right. They have now named a mastermind. But what might be more concerning than even the fact that they have a so-called mastermind is how they think these attacks are now being planned and how they're playing out. Essentially a group of supporters, a group of people in Syria who will plan these external attacks. In fact, the president of France, President Hollande, just moments ago, saying that this was likely decided, planned in Syria, then strategized and organized in Belgium, and of course the attacks then playing out here on the streets of Paris. And President Obama talking just a short time ago, saying essentially when you have a handful of people who don't mind dying, they can do a lot of harm, which is what we witnessed right here on the streets of Paris in 6 separate attacks. Each one of those attackers wearing identical suicide belts, Joy, a real indication that this has taken another step and that this was highly coordinated. The question now is, if they were planning that for some time, what are they planning next?
David, you mentioned it's hard to fight an enemy like this. It's Paula, by the way, and I know that there was a standoff outside a home in Belgium.
You're right. He is believed to be the 8th attacker. In fact, here in Paris, people woke up to the front pages of their paper today. He's right on the front pages, the search for Salah Abdeslam, and they thought he was inside that building in Brussels, in a particular suburb, a town in Brussels where they're most concerned about perhaps a group of people, supporters, ISIS sympathizers, a cell. And it's become a big concern here is if you let these cells go undetected, unwatched, that they can metastasize. And so there's a lot of folks in the world on that particular part of Brussels. But as you point out, Paula, he was not inside. He's still on the run. He's considered armed and dangerous. And in fact, the people here in France and around the world have been told, do not intervene if you see him. We do know that one of his brothers is dead, was one of the attackers here in Paris, according to authorities. Another brother had been detained, has now been released. He said he had no idea about this plan, but that search for the 8th attacker is still underway as we're on the air right now.
Well, thank you so much, David. Keep up the good work and keep us informed, okay? Thanks very much.